I was born in a non-Christian family before I come to this church, so I didn't know about God and didn't grow up with Him as well in the past. I used to be a low self-confident and a very negative person. My family is not really wealthy, so my parents were always working and I didn't have a very good relationship with them. I still remember when I was younger, they would always scold me even though I didn't know why they scolded me. Slowly, I felt that my parents would always compare me with other children. So I thought that I was a burden and meaningless to my parents, although they actually did not think that way. When I became 13, I started to work as a waiter in a dim sum restaurant. It felt like the toughest job ever in my life. Very early in the morning, while the sun hasn't risen up, I needed to prepare to go for work, and after work I still have to rush to school. That was also the time I stopped getting any living allowance from my parents. So I thought that was a good way to change my parents' perspective on me. Throughout my teenage year, I went through 8 to 9 different jobs because I wanted to improve myself and gain more experience in life. Therefore, I was more independent than dependent on my parents most of my life. My relationship with my parents also gradually became further apart. Not only that, I began to live my life with trust on worldly things and live in a selfish way. Until one day, my cell group member Rebecca invited me to join cell group and attend service on Sunday morning. On 26th April last year, that was the first time I came to a church. Before knowing God, I felt it was strange to see people who are devoted in praying and worshiping God. I have no choice but to follow to pray as well. In the midst of worshiping Him, I was being touched by Him and my heart was filled by His Spirit. Also, I sensed that God spoke to me and asked me to trust Him and walk in faith with Him. From that time on, I began to believe that Jesus is my Savior and committed my life into His hand. To build relation with God, I learned to read His Word and to pray as a daily routine. In this journey with God, my faith had been challenged as I faced a tough season in my life. It was a financial problem and I thought that I could overcome this problem without asking God. I also never told my family and my cell group members. I only realized later that actually that's wrong, as my parents were strongly against me attending church. I was also persecuted by my parents. This problem made me lose connection with God and my prayer became less and less. A few times, I refused to go for cell group and Sunday service. Few weeks later, my problem was still there and I had no idea how to overcome it. This went on until one day, I felt my spirit had been defeated and I thought maybe God was my only hope and He would be able to help me to overcome my problems. Then I started to pray and ask God for help. After praying a while, I turned to Bible in Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your way acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. From His words, I realized that I should trust Him with all my heart and depend on Him more instead of focusing on solutions that come from my own understanding. He wanted me to come back to Him and build the relationship with Him again. From that time onwards, I gave myself to God and made my decisions according to His purpose. After a few weeks, I received a new job in a tuition center. My uncle also blessed me with a few thousand for me to be able to pay my college tuition fees. Besides that, I also started to serve in cell group and usher ministry in church. I really want to thank everyone in my cell group. Although I was facing some difficulty, they still always care about me and give me support. I love them so much. In my studies, I also got a very good results. Not only that, my relationship with my parents began to grow closer and sometimes I will share with them how God touched me in my life. Although they have not been touched by God, I believe that God will touch them and dwell in their life, and they will stand beside me and trust in Jesus Christ one day. My name is Zack. This is my story.